words, EKACH VAADA, Surya DADA. Please welcome India's new T20I skipper, the man, the myth, the sky. Let's make that a thing. I like that. Surya Kumar Yadav. Surya Kumar Yadav has worked so hard. He totally deserves this. He's a true underdog, coming of age, rising to the occasion. A lot of words were used there. Now, you should know that I love a good underdog story. And if you don't know that, then you should go and watch my old videos. Like, what are you doing? Why aren't you watching them? But back to that, Surya Kumar Yadav, right? Fantastic. I don't know if you could hear my words with all that excess clapping, but that's okay. Surya has worked so hard for this. Like, he's been playing cricket since 2008. He's played Ranji Trophy for maybe 12 years now. And he was never really selected for the India team, or maybe he was selected, but they didn't see anything, and then he was dropped and whatnot and stuff. But Surya, changing his crickets, making his shots bigger, becoming this all-rounded 360 player, all this hard work that he put in came out with an end result. Surya is a prime example of, if you put in hard work and if you work hard, you will have good success. What you put in pays off. What's all that work, all that hard work that Surya paid in, despite debuting at 30 and debuting fairly late in his career, he has now been declared the official captain in the T20 format, and I couldn't be happier for him. So after that whole intro, I'm guessing everyone has realized now that the India squad for the tour of Sri Lanka for the T20 and ODI has released. So a lot has been writing about this because there's so many new changes. First off, hey guys, welcome to the GG era. We are now in the era of Gautam Gambhir, our new head coach. Now, what this era provides, we don't know yet. But the Sri Lanka tour is so exciting because it's the first era where we get to see Gautam Gambhir's coaching in play. New coach, new captain. This is going to be a heck of a series. Okay, anyways, another thing that we get to see that's so special about this series is we get to see new players coming into the format. As I mentioned earlier with the T20 format, we have said goodbye to our legendary three, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, and Jadeja. One of the best captains, best openers, one of the best one-downs, most aggressive powerhouse of a player, and one of the best fielders that cricket has ever seen. And yes, we'll still be seeing the likes of them. We'll see them in the ODIs. We'll see them at the Champions Trophy. We'll see them in Test cricket, but they have officially retired from T20 cricket. And as Kohli said, it's time for the new generation to take over, right? So it's exciting because we get to see, Washington Sundar, we get to see Ravi Bishnoi in the squad. This guy, Riyan Parag, made it to the ODIs. It's so exciting to see all these new players being added to the team. Khalil Ahmed, Harshit Rana, the KKR bowler, all these new guys, all these new players have been added to the squads. And this is really cool because now we can see them and see them develop into the players that they become, right? And along with the new players coming in, especially from the Zimbabwe squad who are performing great, Ravi Bishnoi, man, that Zimbabwe batting lineup was scared when Bishnoi came out to bowl. No hate to Zimbabwe, great team. Winning a game against India, T20 World Cup champions, credits to them. But India, again, played a hell of a tournament. Good captaincy from Gill, now our vice captain. But we'll get back to that later. There was a lot of controversy going on because some specific players weren't picked, from that squad. Like Gaikwad wasn't picked, Samson wasn't picked, this guy Abhishek Sharma wasn't picked. Abhishek Sharma was the biggest name on there, I would say, especially after he got his century against Zimbabwe. Now, listen, being a selector is hard. You can't just pick everyone, If they could make a team of 25, 30 players, I bet they would. But that's not how that works. It's only a squad of 15. And imagine how much pressure must be on them, picking a good squad. And do you know how much talent there is in India? How many opening batsmen do we have? How many middle order batsmen do we have? How many death overs, last few balls? How many finishers do we have? How many great, amazing bowlers and wicket keepers do we have? We have such a wide variety of so many talented players. Imagine how hard it must be for them to pick a fixed group of 15. Especially with the format and everything and who we're playing against, and it's just so complicated. So I think the selectors do know what they're doing, and we shouldn't question it. Now, sometimes it sucks to see some players getting missed out. Like, I really was a little disappointed that Abhishek Sharma wasn't in this series because I would have loved, this is one thing I really want to see. I really, really want to see an Abhishek Sharma and Yashasvi Jaiswal opening duo. I have said it from the start and I will continue to say it. I think those two would be absolutely destructive. Like Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan, Phil Salt and Josh Butler, you know, absolutely dynamite. First ball, hitting them, those bowlers would be scared of bowling to them. You know, the opposition would be like, I don't want to bowl today. You want to bowl today? I don't want to bowl today. Those two are batting. No thanks. You know, this is what we want. Strong starts. You know, everyone has seen strong starts in power play, not losing wickets, scoring a lot of runs, especially when there's only 2 fielders in the outer circle by the boundary. Gives you a big start towards the rest of your game, and it helps you out a whole bunch. And now, another big thing that was going on was over the captaincy spectacle. Now, everyone was like, oh, is Hardik going to get it? But then Surya's name was also in it. When you look at it down to like proper clear view, like proper clear thinking, and look at it like statistically, not emotionally or anything, but looking at it clearly, I used a lot of words to say that. I would say Surya is a more consistent player for T20. And it's not that Hardik has bad form and he drops or anything. The way Hardik plays cricket, with being a fast bowler and being a batsman, he's such a rarity, right? I've said this before. You don't find fast bowlers and batsmen on the Indian team, right? So with Hardik, this is cool, and this is also a little bit more injury prone, and he's a little bit more at risk because with what he does, there's more risk to it. And so then there's more injuries, and Hardik has been in and out of the format sometimes. You know, he came out of the World Cup 2023, then he played IPL, then he played the T20 World Cup. Now he's being rested for the 50-over World Cup, you know, for the 50-over World Cup, for the ODI against Sri Lanka. So with Hardik, injury is a more prone thing. And it's not a good thing if your captain is completely going in and out of the format. You know, he's injured, then you're constantly switching between captain and vice captain, and it's just a whole bunch of more stress. I'd say Surya is fairly consistent in the T20 format. You know, that's one of his strengths. And Surya has worked hard for this, and I would love to see him getting a shot captaincy. So earlier, I think in my last video, someone left a comment saying, oh yeah, all these new players coming into the team, they're all-rounders, and we can, but they're fairly new all-rounders, right? So we can like groom them and train them, not we, but the Indian cricket team can groom them, train them, and become these big all-rounders. You know, please leave comments, you guys. Please share your opinion. I really like seeing these comments, and it like gives me something more and gives me a different perspective to think about. You know, I love seeing everyone's opinion. I'm an unofficial opinion after all, you know. Anyways, players like, you know, Washington Sundar, oh my god, Nitish Kumar Reddy, right? I think Nitish Kumar Reddy will be a future Hardik, right? Like, fast bowler and batsman. That's a very rare combo that you see nowadays. So I am so excited for this Sri Lanka series because we enter the GG Gautam Gambhir era. We see India with Gautam Gambhir. A little bit of a controversial person, but I like him. I think he's very straightforward, and I think he knows what he's doing. So we see the start of the GG era. We see Gautam Gambhir as head coach. And then we see a new captain as well. Okay, so killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Whoa, maybe it was a wrong analogy, but we'll move on from that. So we see Gautam Gambhir as head coach, Surya Yadav as captain. And we see all these new players coming into the format. You know, and we see some old faces again. We see KL Rahul playing again. We see like Shreyas Iyer. We see all these guys coming back into the format, right? Oh, Rinku Singh. Maybe not Shreyas Iyer. Sorry, wrong name. But like KL Rahul, Rinku Singh, you know, all these guys coming back into the 50-over format where they weren't really able to play during the T20 World Cup, right? Because T20 format. And then we get to see all these new guys, you know, Washington Sundar, Ravi Bishnoi, Riyan Parag, Harshit Rana, Khalil Ahmed, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do. So if you haven't told by now, then you must not have been watching this video because I'm really, truly excited for the Sri Lanka series. And I can't wait to see it happen. So I'll talk to you guys then or before because we want to keep posting videos consistently.